Hello, my name is Heda and I'm recording something for the Be Remarkable channel. Our topic for today is about dream stealers and the power of two. And if you're familiar with the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he talks about the mastermind group there, which is kind of similar to what I'm going to talk about in terms of the power of two. So, Taglish po tayo ha, kasi ang Tagalog ko hindi tuwid. So, we'll have to do this, okay, both in English and in Filipino. So, ano ba yung mga dream stealers and why do I pick this out as a topic to talk about? I have done teacher trainings mostly for Southeast Asian teachers who are based in Bangkok. And one of the topics that I did a program on, that I did a training for, it's 3 sessions, is on growth. And so one of the things that is key to growth is the concept of dream stealers. Bakit nga ba? Okay. Kasi, especially for Filipinos, I think, meron po tayong mga kapamilya and friends and colleagues perhaps who sometimes are, instead of na makakatulong sa'yo in terms of the things that you want to do in life, yung mga goals mo sa buhay o yung mga gusto mong makamit, sometimes instead of being a support, nagiging negative na influence sila. They have a certain negative impact na tuloy, instead na ma-encourage ka to target or to work towards what you want to achieve in life, nagiging hadlang sila. And so, one of the things that I thought I should talk about is, okay, sino-sino ba ang mga ito? And then, why do they even do these things? Or why do they even tell you the things that they tell you, which make them dream stealers? And towards the end, what can we do about them? Or what can we do about the whole situation? So, sino ang mga dream stealers? Tingnan nyo in your own life if the things that I'm saying are applicable, if the things that I'm saying are actually realistic, or if it is a truism. Totoo ba? Okay, may katotohanan ba yung sinasabi ko? Before you actually, syempre, before you believe it, di ba? You have to apply it in your own life and you have to kind of, yung parang i-compare if it is applicable, kung totoo nga. So, one of the biggest, and this came out during the trainings that I did with the teachers here last 2020, one of the main sources of dream stealing are those that we actually love. Our family members, our immediate family. They can be our children, they can be, most of the time, our moms. And, okay, it can be our father, it can be our grandparents, it can be our aunts or uncles, cousins, so sa immediate family. So why do they do this? Most of the time, our family members would like, and especially our parents, would like to protect us. They would like to, kumbaga yung parang ang buhay that they thought was hard for them, for instance, they don't want us to experience the same things. At saka, in terms of protecting us, parang they feel na pag nakikita nila that into the future, pwede kang mapahamak, or based sa kanilang experiences, they have had experiences before na napahamak sila. So pag nagsabi ka or nag-share ka na ito yung gusto kong gawin, this is what I would like to do in my life, this is what I would like to gun for, this is my aims, these are my dreams, I would like to be this. Pag nakikita nila that pwede kang ma-harm, then sasabihin na lang nila sa'yo na huwag kang pumunta dyan, don't even attempt it, alam mo si ganitong nangyari sa kanya, or okay, ay naku, na-try ko na yan, tapos hindi rin nag-work, tapos, or sometimes may mga certain paradigms tayo in our culture na dreaming is seen as hindi positive, na parang ang ang yung parang ang mangarap is seen as not realistic. Kaya minsan pag naririnig mo ang mga negative things, okay, discouraging na. So hindi ka na lang tutuloy. So merong mga ganyan na in terms of trying to protect us, kaya instead of encouraging us, or kumbaga yung parang tulungan tayo to strategize and to eliminate the challenges, or at least to anticipate kung ano yung mga hardships that we will go through or we will face, instead na ganun sana ang mindset, okay, hindi nangyayari. And so they become dream stealers instead of a support system. The other source of dream stealing is syempre yung mga friends. And then at the same time that our family members are trying to protect us, ganun din minsan ang mga friends. Tsaka ang problema minsan naman kasi sa mga friends is that and from the readings that I have done, ang nangyayari is that when you are kind of running with a certain group of people, and of course nagiging comfortable, it's a comfort zone. So ang nangyayari, if one of you among the group would like to kind of get out or go up a different level, or parang kumbaga yung parang bakit gusto nitong isang to get out of the norm, or bakit kumbaga gusto niyang hindi na makasama dito sa amin, parang ganun ang nagiging mindset. It's because when we strive to be better, when we strive to improve ourselves, and it will be seen sometimes as parang a source of fear for the people that we run around with or that we go with, kasi they will have to think about their own lives and their own selves, at saka kailangan nilang magtanong kung sila ba ay gusto ding mag-improve or mag-grow, or meron din ba silang dapat i-change or i-modify or i-adapt or i-improve, okay, with themselves. So, kumbaga, a source of fear ang nangyayari minsan when you are sharing or when you are seen as gunning for something that the group doesn't see or doesn't subscribe to, kumbaga. So minsan it's not because na let's operate on the premise na they are not against you, they are just for themselves. Okay, merong ganyang statement, and I'm gonna repeat that. They're not against you, they're just for themselves, which means na hindi talaga sila, they are not seeing that okay, the discouraging remarks are working against you, at saka hindi din nila ini-intend minsan to discourage you. Sometimes ang nasa isip nila is yes, okay, protecting you, pero at the same time hindi rin nila alam minsan, it's not intentional, it's unconscious, na yung mga sarili nilang fears pala are the things that they're telling you, and which kumbaga nagha-hamper sa you from doing what you wanted to do, or from gunning for the dreams that you wish for yourself. So yun, so pamilya, loved ones who care for you, who love you, friends, okay, that you are in a comfort zone with, and colleagues who are sometimes hindi tayo nila kilala as much as we know ourselves. They don't know what our circumstances are. They don't know what the future is that we would like to carve for ourselves. And so, again, operating from kung ano man yung limited things that they know about us, and then limited things that they know about, okay, what we wish our lives to be. So pwedeng maging negative or discouraging yung kanilang mga comments instead of being a support system. So, okay, yun yung who are they? Who are the dream stealers, or who can they be? Okay, so ang next section is, so why do they do them? Okay, we already touched on that when I was describing them. And one is, okay, they think that they are protecting us, the other part is that, okay, they would like for you to remain in the same comfort zone as they are, and they don't want, okay, to be thinking on their own or examining their own lives kung meron bang kailangan i-improve din sa kanila. You doing something different or even thinking of growing or improving makes some people fearful, and it becomes kind of a scary thing for them, because then they would have to ask themselves too if there's something else that they also would need, okay, to change about their lives. Ganon. So, and sometimes, meron naman talagang mga people who don't want you to improve or who don't want you to succeed. And it's just a very, siguro, natural human trait. Being in a very competitive world, sometimes nagiging unconscious, nagiging unintentional, okay? So anyway, so that's that. So the third part is, okay, what can we do about them? So the part that says, kumbaga, this is the crux, okay, of this talk. What can we do about them? Well, one is that actually there are three ways, okay, to go about this. There are three ways to approach it. Isa is that you have to wag kang mag-overshare. There is such a thing as and I think in Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, he talks about this, where sometimes, okay, you have to kind of keep your dreams quiet muna. And it's because while you're still brewing things, kumbaga, you cannot expose your dreams too much to discouraging remarks, or kumbaga yung parang hindi pa nabubuo hindi pa nabibuild yung foundation ng dreams mo, or you're still exploring things and you're still refining kung ano ba talaga yung gusto mo sa buhay. Minsan, that's not the right time to share, and it's also, maybe you also have to choose, okay, to whom you share these things. So, dahil there is a phase in your dream building where hindi ka pa masyadong strong or grounded, at saka hindi ka rin pa sure exactly where you're going. And when you are at that phase, it's not wise to overexpose yourself to so many questions and to so many doubtful individuals. Merong mga tao na they will call themselves skeptics. Siguro nga to them they are skeptics, okay, but minsan ang dating sa'yo is that they're discouraging. And so, you have to kind of establish boundaries. So, the first thing that you can do is you have to choose the people that you share your dreams with, especially when you are still in the very initial phases of your dream building. Then, meron ka talagang dapat boundaries. Ano ba yung boundaries? That even with friends, even with family members, you have to communicate kung ano yung pwede nilang, how they should treat you. Kasi sometimes, our emotional makeup is not the same. Sometimes there are people who are very sensitive to certain things, to certain words, to certain ways of communicating or interacting or exchanging. So, and it comes from knowing yourself. So you have to dig deeper about ano ba yung mga hindi mo matolerate. What are your non-negotiables when you are interacting or you're exchanging ideas, or you're discussing with other people? Or, kumbaga, you just, okay, the normal ways that you do your relationships. Ano yung hindi mo pwedeng ma-take. It's not because na masyado kang, yung parang masyado kang picky, or masyado kang maraming mga rules. It's not that. Sometimes, it is because you can only take certain things na minsan sa ibang tao is very normal or is very mild. Pero para sa'yo, it's not something that you want to expose yourself to. So the most important thing is to communicate what your boundaries are. But okay, before that, you have to learn to explore yourself and to find out what your boundaries are first. Okay, di ba? So yon, dalawa. That's the second, pangalawa yan. That's the second solution, possible solution. Ang third, and this actually came out, all of these things that I'm talking to you about came out of the readings that I have done, but also at the same time, realistically speaking and doing the trainings with some of the teachers here, especially Filipino ones. Ganito talaga ang realities of our relationships and interactions with our family members and friends, but most especially with family members. Okay, so yung third na solution, which is kind of hard, okay? Teka lang inom ako ng kape. Kasi it's getting cold. So the third solution is talagang, and sometimes it's kind of a hard decision to make. And you have to be very careful about this. Kasi as much as possible, you also don't want to burn bridges. Kaya lang, at the same time, pag natanto mo that there are really individuals in your life that hindi lang sila discouraging, but they actually hamper or prevent you from being the best version of yourself. And every time na meron kang plans or every time that you have dreams that you work on, hindi lang sila discouraging, kundi they actually do certain things to prevent you from achieving what you wish to achieve for yourself. May mga ganun po. And wag na po, we don't need to go into the why, into why they're doing that. Sometimes, we just don't have the capacity or the time to invest in knowing why people do certain things. The why is not so important as the what are you gonna do about it. Kasi ang importante naman po dito, di ba, is you. What are you gonna do about it? Because it prevents you from going for what you wish to have in your life, and it prevents you from growing. So there are instances, and I have done it, where I had to sever ties with certain people. And as much as possible, of course, you would like to do it as gently as you can. Pero sometimes, you just have to kind of ghost them, which means na you unfriend them on Facebook, you block them on Facebook. Maybe you don't need to give explanations sometimes. Depende. Kasi sometimes if you give explanations, and I'm learning this, sometimes when you're giving too many explanations, nagiging mas complicated pa, or something that was so simple becomes overcomplicated because nag-over-explain ka. So sometimes it's not necessary to explain, it's just necessary for you to do something that you have to do because this is something that you have to do for yourself. Ganun po yun. But as much as possible, of course, we don't want to harm others. Okay, so those were the three. Now, in relation to the third part, which is the solution, ano yung mastermind group or the power of two? There is a book that I believe the title is The Power of Two. Hindi ko pa siya nabasa ng lubusan. But the concept, and this is not just from that book, but the concept of the power of two is that and the mastermind group is that you have somebody, at least one person, that you constantly, regularly talk to, share the things that you wish to do, share the dreams, that you are strategizing, planning, and acting on. At saka, it is even more helpful kung hindi lang sharing, hindi lang yung parang just purge, hindi lang yung parang outlet lang yung mastermind group mo. But it's also very helpful if this other person or other people, kasi pwedeng maging 3 as much as 5 or 6. So if more than that, ang mastermind group mo, pag sobra na ng 5 or 6, it's not efficient anymore. Masyado ng maraming thoughts and ideas. So, if you can meet your mastermind group or your partner in crime regularly or talk to them. And kumbaga yung parang hindi lang touching base and hindi lang purging and hindi lang outlet. But okay, you also kind of you make each other accountable kung ano yung mga steps okay that you have to take. And I do this with some of my friends, I do this with the people that I do projects with. Kasi minsan kahit gaano ka-efficient ang isang tao, kahit gaano siya ka self-disciplined, there's always room for for somebody else to be asking questions, nasan ka na? And actually I just did this okay with a cousin of mine that I am doing a project with. Kasi siya naman kasi alam niya na sometimes really needs to be asked, asan ka na? Ano na yung steps okay that you wish that you have to work on. So, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more next time about ano yung qualities that make up a very good mastermind group. Kumbaga, not just good. Let's use the word effective. Kasi words matter. Words have a certain power that will make or unmake the things that you're doing in life, or that would help you kung saan ka ba patutungo. And especially also, words affect us emotionally, mentally, and so using the right words and using the more positive words that require or help you to do action, okay, those are the ones that we need to gun for. So I'm going to stop here, okay, and then sa next na video we will talk about what makes an effective mastermind group, or ano yung qualities or traits of somebody na okay, you should be partners in crime with. It can be your spouse, it can be your best friend, it can be your sibling, it can be a parent, it can even be okay a child of yours who is mature enough to handle the things okay that you have to do. So we'll talk more about that next time, and I hope that this video has been helpful for you. If it has been helpful, please do share it with other people, and see you next time. Have a good Sunday.